Welcome. I decided I would record a little bit more of a challenging workout for natural movement. A lot of the classes that I teach are very beginner level, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to see some of the more challenging activities that you can do in natural movement that you can be moving towards in your workout, or perhaps some of you are ready for something more challenging. So these are some of the things that I do, and I don't have a set time that I work out. I don't like to think that I'm gonna be working out for 45 minutes straight, and I've gotta fill that time when I'm working out on my own. I just sort of move into whatever feels like would feel good to my body that day and that I feel like I need to work on. So I'm gonna start with just a little bit of ground movement, and just in the process of moving to the ground, thinking about getting there is part of the workout. So, if you're familiar with the sit rise test, which there's information in my website about that, you can check that out. But crossing the feet and practicing lowering down in a very controlled way requires balance and core strength without using your hands. So I'm going to start with just some rolls. So you want to be able to round your back out and make your roll as smooth as possible and try to really engage the core, especially as you're coming up. Each time you come up, try to position your feet just a little bit differently and come forward, reach far enough that you're going to be stretching through your hips. So after a couple rolls, think about bringing yourself forward, using the core to pull yourself up onto your feet. I occasionally like to challenge myself a little bit differently, like crossing the feet and then coming up onto my feet and just seeing if I can use my core to get myself there. I might try coming up on one foot. I haven't done that for a while to see if I can get up on one foot and balance. Yeah, I haven't done that one for a while, so can't quite do it. Another option that you can throw in is adding a weight. So this is a 12-pound medicine ball. And adding weight can increase your momentum, and it forces you to have a little more control as well. You can add in some arm work. But rolls are kind of a fun way to work on core strength. And you can bring this all the way up and then all the way down. And switch sides each time. Okay, that's a fun way to get some movement in, get some blood flow. I'm going to show you one more option that you can do with your rolls. So going down again, making it purposeful, is to send your momentum backwards rather than just forwards. So rolling back and seeing how far you can bring your legs back, moving to each side. So I'm going to my right, coming back, then going to my left, coming back, and do this one really slowly. So if you're really tight in your upper back and neck, you definitely want to go slower. You can try to touch a toe down. You can try to touch the opposite toe down. Can't quite get there. There's a touch. So thinking about functional movement, you're thinking probably, well, there's not a lot of functional things I do sending myself backwards like that. But we're also thinking about if you did fall, that when you fall, you want to be able to minimize that hard hit into the ground. So creating more fluid body and a more built-in reaction to falling, you can absorb a lot more force if you roll your body. And that's very much a martial art. I'm not a martial arts expert, but it's very much a martial art concept. And other athletic endeavors as well, because I was a volleyball player a very, very long time ago. So that role is something that we might use in sports as well. But it's also just a fun way to move. Okay, so, and I would never do that backward roll without warming up as much as I did. Let's talk about the tripod transition. This is another really great shoulder, hip, core strengthening activity. And it's simply thinking about a tripod to transition from front to back or from on all fours to standing. So lifting the knees, my right foot's going under. So now I'm a tripod. And then the left hand comes around. Okay, the right foot goes under, left hand comes around. And then I can do opposite. Left foot goes under, right hand comes around. Left foot goes under, right hand comes around. So that will warm you up very quickly. You can also think about this tripod in terms of bringing the right foot forward, coming into a squat or a stand. We could also get our ball back here and think about turning, lifting. I'm just freestyling here. But we're thinking about our tripod transition. This would be the same thing. Okay. We can go back and forth a few times. We can go different directions. Great for ankles and knees. The next thing we can do is jumping. Jumping is something I like to add in because I think it's really good. I'm going to use my cork blocks. You can just start out jumping in place or small jumps. I like to have a little bit of a target. So I'm just landing the balls on my feet. And then you can jump off, practicing landing really softly. Whoop. That eccentric motion, that jumping down and that landing motion is another really protective skill for catching yourself if you trip. And if you do fall, being able to catch yourself more gently and absorb that force as opposed to, again, that hard stiffening when you fall versus softening into it. Getting your arms involved is something else that's important. Let's think about making it a little more challenging. Smaller space, higher space. So I'll just do something to warm me up. If I'm been at my desk for a while, I don't care if I get a little bit sweaty. Okay, I'm feeling pretty confident here. So I'm gonna pull in my step stool. Okay, and again, landing soft is as important as jumping high. I definitely recommend starting very low. The height of a 2 or 3 inch block is plenty to start out with. And you can still get a lot of the same benefits. I'm just that person that likes a little bit of a challenge, and some people would look at my step stool and go and laugh, but that's a challenge. But you know, we're all at where we are at. Okay, so there's a couple more challenging activities that you can work yourself towards and integrate into your natural movement workout. Thank you.